6976.
Combined our credit card debt, and it became impossible to pay off on our own. At that point, I was like, I don't know where to turn. And then I found Trinity.
Trinity will consolidate your accounts into one easy-to-manage monthly payment, reduce your interest, and possibly improve your credit score. You'll save thousands.
I initially was scared to call, and immediately I felt relief. I mean, in a matter of 3 years, we've already paid down $20,000 in credit card debt, which is huge.
Call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976.
Facebook and Instagram have removed more than 1,000 bogus accounts in Nicaragua, saying that they were part of a sustained disinformation campaign by the government.
Investigators at Facebook and Instagram's parent company, Meta, said what they'd uncovered in Nicaragua was a cross-government troll operation. Those who ran the fake accounts included staff at the telecoms regulator, the Social Security Institute, and the Supreme Court. The disinformation campaign allegedly began 3 years ago as an effort to denigrate the opposition. It spread to other platforms, including TikTok and Twitter. President Ortega's bid for a fourth consecutive term has been marked by the jailing of opposition leaders, journalists, and government critics.
That's the BBC's Grant Ferret. Soaring oil and gas prices helping to boost British oil giant BP's third quarter profits. $3.3 billion for the 3 months ending in September. News and analysis, townhall.com. We are hearing from another key player in the accidental shooting on the set of the Alec Baldwin film Rust.
The latest to speak out is the assistant director who handed Alec Baldwin the gun that ended up killing the cinematographer on the movie set last month. And David Hall says he hopes that what happened to Elena Hutchins will make the movie industry reevaluate its values and practices to make sure something like that never happens again. Hall's statement was made to the New York Post, and it comes as fingers of blame are being pointed at him. Before he handed the weapon to Baldwin, he declared the gun cold, meaning it had no live rounds in it. But Halls later acknowledged to authorities that he failed to check the weapon himself before announcing that it was safe. I'm Oscar Wells Gabriel.
Voters in Minneapolis deciding today whether to replace the city police department with a new Department of Public Safety. And also, Mayor Jacob Fry is in a tough fight for a second term in office. More on these stories at townhall.com.
As our economy gradually reopens, remember to support local.
Know you're doing the right thing and stay proud.
Be a part of the greatest comeback of all time with Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM. WEEB.
I'm Taylor Clement, candidate for Southern Pines Town Council. I bring an abundance of financial and leadership experience, most recently having spearheaded the project to save Southern Pines Elementary from destruction and overdevelopment. Historic brick buildings were nearly sold to a developer with plans to build 50 small homes, creating strain on downtown traffic and services. Like that campus, the charm of our town is at risk during this time of accelerated growth. We need leaders who know what it means to focus on community first. Paid for by Taylor Clement for Town Council.
I'm Brandon Goodman, candidate for Southern Pines Town Council. Today, property taxes generate nearly 60% of the town's revenues. That has increased from 50% just a few years ago. Our town's government is growing faster than its economy can sustain without continued property tax increases on you. That trend needs to be reversed. Elect a candidate that brings fiscal responsibility. Vote Brandon Goodman for Southern Pines Town Council on November 2nd. Paid for by Brandon Goodman for Town Council.
John Cole's Plumbing Professionals wants to remind you that this is the time of year that roots begin to stretch and grow. Naturally, they look for the closest water source, which could very well be your plumbing. If you notice a drop in water pressure, wet spots in your yard, or an increase in your water bill, call John Cole's Plumbing Professionals.
Hi, this is John Cole. If you've got a plumbing problem, don't just call a plumber, call a professional at 910-639-4933.
John Cole's Plumbing Professionals.
This is Chuck from Sunbelt Service Pros. Are you just not feeling it anymore with your AC service provider? Are you calling those guys because that's what you've always done, or because there's a sticker on the thermostat with an old phone number on it? How about this? Take a chance and you'll be thrilled to find that you're getting real value for your heating and cooling dollars. When you call Sunbelt Service Pros, you are dealing with a professional and reliable service provider. Our technicians are highly trained and certified and can quickly address any issues. Our customers find our technicians and office staff courteous, friendly, and professional throughout the whole process. We're doing something right here. You need to check us out. Find out what you've been missing and call us today. Sunbelt Service Pros at 910-944-2044 or go online to sunbeltservicepros.com.
Trail is gone away from me.
Do you love great barbecue? Then you must try Whispering Q, Moore County's newest barbecue restaurant. They offer classic pulled pork and pulled chicken sandwiches, baby back ribs, smoked chicken wings, and even a smoked sliced prime rib sandwich. Plus, they have a wide variety of classic side dishes, burgers, and a kids menu too. If you want something different, order their pulled nachos. And don't forget dessert, apple pie. Splurge and get it with ice cream and caramel on top. Whispering Q is located at 2 Clubhouse Boulevard in Whispering Pines. They're open Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Friday and Saturday from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Dine in or take out. Check them out on the web at whisperingq.com, like them on Facebook, or call 910-949-3000 and choose option 2 from the menu. Whispering Q. Ain't nothing quiet about this Q.
Football season is back in session, and Rudino's Pizza and Grinders has your Sunday night ticket on DirecTV. Get a small grinder, side salad, and a bag of chips for just $5.99. Or try our renowned pizza, voted the best in Spectator magazine. Visit Rudino'sSouthernPines.com to see our complete menu and specials. Make Rudino's Pizza and Grinders your Sunday football sanctuary, located on Pinehurst Avenue in Southern Pines.
NCN News, I'm Mike Rayleigh. There's a showdown in the Commonwealth of Virginia as the state elects its next governor. The race pits former Democratic Governor Terry McAuliffe against Republican Congressman Glenn Youngkin. North Carolina State University political science professor Andy Taylor tells NCN News.
Every time except for when McAuliffe himself won the governor's mansion, which he did in 2013, 2 elections ago. Every year since 1973, with that exception, the president's party has lost the Virginia gubernatorial race.
It's election day, and voters nationwide will cast their ballots for a lot of offices. CBS News correspondent Ed O'Keefe says in Virginia it could be a sign of how both major parties will handle the midterms next year.
It's just a contest in a southern state, so the rest of you may be wondering, why on earth should we care? Well, it's indicative of what we might see in various parts of the country next year. It's a blue state, at least in recent years, maybe a swing state, depending on how you define it. It's this kind of state across the country that is seeing its politics change.
Governor Roy Cooper vetoed on Monday a measure that would have required other elected leaders to sign off on long-term emergency declarations. President Biden's ambitious place on a social safety net has hit another bump in the road.
You have to say it's time to vote and time to clarify what's actually at stake. And important things are at stake. I don't want to suggest Democrats are simply bickering over trivia. They're not. Home health care via Medicaid for the sandwich generation for their elderly parents is a huge deal. Universal pre-K is a huge deal.
The Department of Transportation is stressing safety awareness this month. North Carolina Governor's Highway Safety Program Director Mark Ezel tells Spectrum News.
130 deaths, preventable deaths in many cases, is just unacceptable. Our vision in North Carolina is that we have 0 deaths on North Carolina roadways.
You're listening to NCN News.
Science, technology, engineering, and math, or STEM, is an important part of K-12 education in North Carolina, but not all schools are able to provide it. NC Green Power is a nonprofit promoting STEM education through its Solar Plus Schools grant program. Recipient schools receive an educational solar installation, a weather station, a STEM curriculum, and teacher training. Help North Carolina students by supporting Solar Plus Schools today. Visit ncgreenpower.org. Learn more and donate to benefit STEM education. ncgreenpower.org.
We really are worried that this Delta variant is going to find everyone who's not protected.
The fact that this is more infectious, causing worse outcomes, and spreading like wildfire in the United States, I don't believe this is a wait-and-see period. It's a time to really roll those sleeves up and get those shots.
There are more people dying this week than there was last week. Our rates of hospitalizations are going up. The people that are losing their lives are the people that are unvaccinated.
Visit myspot.nc.gov today. A message from NCDHHS.
North Carolina Republicans have advanced a proposed congressional district map that would make it easier for the state GOP to increase its number of seats in Capitol Hill. A Senate committee voted Monday for a redistricting plan that reflects population gains counted during the 2020 census. By the end of the year, the Mayo Clinic is rolling out a new blood test that can detect more than 50 types of cancers. Test is able to find tiny bits of tumor-derived bits in the blood and see if cancer is present, and then find out where it's coming from in the body. Dr. Julia Fagan tells us.
It's intended to be used in individuals who are at an elevated risk for cancer. An elevated risk, this could be something as simple as age.
The military has set deadlines for its services to get troops vaccinated.
The first of the deadlines will be for Air Force personnel, but deadlines for other branches are approaching, with various punishments for those troops who refuse. Pentagon spokesman John Kirby said Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin hopes that wouldn't necessarily involve punitive measures.
But clearly it's a lawful order, and so he also trusts that commanders will ultimately do what they need to do for the readiness of their unit. And if that comes to doing something of a punitive nature, they certainly have that right and that authority.
Kirby said 97% of the total force has gotten at least one dose. Cammie McCormick, CBS News, the Pentagon.
The Wake County School Board will discuss a potential pay raise for school bus drivers during a school board meeting tonight. It comes after 150 bus drivers skipped shifts during the second day of a sick out because of low pay and longer hours. Keith Sutton is the chairman of the Wake County School Board.
We know that they are frustrated and feel overworked and concerned about working conditions, but we're seeing that across the board for all of our employees, custodians, teachers, teacher assistants, cafeteria workers.
Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
This afternoon, we're going to see a range of temperatures from the upper 50s to the north to the lower 70s to the south. And it's all because of this weak boundary that's moving through, allowing some of those areas to see those chilly temperatures today. Overnight, we'll fall into the upper 30s and lower 40s tomorrow, looking at highs in the low to upper 50s. We're going to stay mostly dry with clouds around tomorrow, but late showers will roll in with better chance of rain on Thursday. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
Right now, patchy fog and 50 degrees here in the Sand Hills area. Humidity 85%, dew point 44, pressures 29.98, winds are west-southwest at 1. It's 8:14. Let's take a look at your Sand Hills news for this Tuesday morning. A man from Bass was sentenced to prison for second-degree murder and robbery with a dangerous weapon, according to a news release from the county district attorney, Mike Harden. Dallas Waters pled guilty in Moore County Superior Court to the charges on October 25th and was sentenced to 13 to 17 years in prison. Waters, 50, was arrested in June of 2019 in connection with the murder of his roommate. Rex Watson's body was discovered by deputies at his Bass home on Rawlins Road after they received a tip from an out-of-state enforcement agency that a crime had taken place. Hours later, Waters was arrested by officers in Bexar County, Texas.